Um, so yeah, we were just talking about how today is solstice, and I'm really pleased with a meditation that came through for this week. Oh, here comes somebody. I don't know who it is because I don't recognize the VNEQS. We'll figure it out in a second. Um, I like this meditation a lot. I don't know, something happened this week where I just felt like my ability to kind of like channel and get information. I was like, oh, I just can't wait to share this. And it was this course that just got me. Oh, it's Kate. Yay. It was this course that got me to do that. So check out the meditation. I think it's one of the first couple things in the course materials today. Um, and I'm going to go ahead and just start a little. I prepared something for us to start to steep ourselves in how special today is. And there are no accidents in the universe that we're doing an energy cleansing course and our gathering comes on solstice. I just think that that is, you can't plan that type of stuff. So let's go ahead and just kind of, um, I prepared a little slideshow just to kind of help us. Um, so, so today is solstice, and traditionally, solstice is seen as an opportunity for reflection and renewal because the light is starting to come in, but also just for transformation. And this is where the Earth is the furthest away tilt from the sun in the northern hemisphere, so it's the longest night. But it's not just a physical event; it's energetic and it's spiritual, and it represents, as I was saying, the return of the light, and we get to sort of be in the darkness and welcome in the light. So we're going to discuss a couple things here today. um, we're going to discuss how we can embrace the shift energetically. I'll suggest a couple rituals if you might want to pick one for today or this week. I want to revisit connecting with nature. It just was so apparent to me that the natural world is coming through with so much support and this simplicity of remembering to be with nature, silence and stillness. And then I want to also just suggest if there's maybe some ways that we can close the day individually for ourselves. And I like this quote: "As winter begins, may the light return to our lives." And I just want to invite you to take a moment to feel that in the northern hemisphere, this is the day when winter begins, and it is the time to be in the darkness, as I was saying, and welcome in the light. So the first thing we're going to do is sort of embrace the shift from darkness to light. So this is kind of like a reset point where it's a turning point. We're gonna come back into the sky. And this symbolizes, we're shifting from the introspection, inward looking, renewal, darkness, and we're kind of going to start to welcome in the light, welcome in action. I'm not saying action yet. I think we're still in a time of meditating and renewing and doing the inner energetic work for spring. But some of the um, it's seen as the return of the light, and it's also seen as a time to let go of old patterns. If there's any patterns or beliefs or habits that no longer serve us, now would be the perfect time, the perfect moment for rebirth, for regeneration. Um, and also a really wonderful seeding time for us to set new intentions today to carry us into the coming year. And it's right on the heels of, in the West, our New Year's right around the corner. And also, it's worth noting that in ancient traditions, I'm going to do a little presentation on this tomorrow. There's a lot of different, Stonehenge is one of, there's a lot of different places that were built to engage with the equinoxes, but specifically the solstices. And that, it's indicating that this is a sacred time and it's a time to honor the cycles that are around us. And if we think about the fact that in theory, so many things are just cycles, the planets travel in cycles, the moon goes in cycles, the sun goes in cycles. So, a couple questions I wanted to suggest for us to just sit with for a moment. What old patterns are ready to be released for you in this moment and what new patterns are ready to be embraced. And I invite you to take the lens. It might be maybe start close to home in the last 24 to 48 hours, the last week of time. Has there been a theme for you of something that you're working on that no longer works? And there's some way that something that you might want to replace it with. So I'm going to invite us to just kind of sit with this question for a moment. And the next thing that I would suggest, and this first one doesn't necessarily work with where I live, but connecting with nature. And because the solstice is actually, deeply tied to the natural world. There's, some people say these are the times when the seed changes direction. And it's not spring yet, but it's going to start to, it's the natural world can feel this. So to harness this energy, I would invite us to consider to spend time in nature. And then when we're in nature, to think about those cycles, the lunar cycles, the equinox solstice cycles, the cosmic cycles, our own internal rhythms. Barefoot walking if possible, but I think even just being outside, I put, forest bathing here. Shenron yoku is what the Japanese call it, and they were the ones to coin that term, but that has to do with, I did a presentation on this in the free gathering. Negative ions have been documented to help with, mental health states, to take mold and particulates out of the air. They just make us feel good. There's something so nourishing. And if it's too cold, maybe we sit by a window or sit next to a plant. But it's a really nice time to kind of connect with nature. And there's also, I think, a really nice, I suggested a soil blessing. And this could be, look, one of two ways. Sometimes I, bury a crystal in the soil, offer a flower at the foot of a tree. Um, the other thing that I've done in an ancestral healing course that one of my shamans taught me how to do is to take a dinner plate that you don't necessarily need to have around anymore and to ask permission to get some soil and create an altar with the soil. So you could then have the soil on the plate, and then you can drop the wax from your candle and plant the candle right into the altar. So it's also a nice way to create like a safe, more or less fireproof altar, if that was your inclination today. I just think that nature reminds us that we're so powerful, and we're so big, and we're so small. That if we think about the myriad of seeds that every plant puts off, it's just so fantastic. So I invite us now to kind of embrace this as we're here in this gathering. How did the natural world communicate with you in the last 24 to 48 hours? Maybe it's a bird, maybe it's a tree, maybe it's a storm. Was there just reflect within for a moment. Before we do that, I'm going to share this quote. On this dark night, a miracle happens, and our beautiful earth moves just enough to bring the light back to us. Wishing you a blessed solstice. I love that quote because it's just like astrology to me. It's like, oh, I don't even have to do anything. The earth did it. I'm just along for the ride. I just love it when like the universe reminds me that it's not my ego. It's not my physical doing. It's a lot of this stuff. We're just a part of this cosmic dance, right? So let's go ahead and spend a few moments here together in a meditation. I'm just going to invite you to, if you can, sit with your shoulders over your hips and let your eyes close. And bring your gaze within you. Notice how you're feeling right now. Notice how you're breathing. Begin to deepen your breath, breathing in through your nose and releasing through your mouth. And we'll just take 5 more breaths like that. Just coming fully present into this now moment. And as we sit here together on this blessed day, solstice, this time of shifting back towards the light, but still the darkest, longest night of the Northern Hemisphere year. As you're looking inside you, I invite you to just embrace the stillness that is within you. Maybe even imagine that you're looking in, maybe there's the light that is your heart, but there's this darkness, this nebulousness, this unformedness within you. Just spend a few moments with that aspect of you, the part of you that embraces the unknown and that knows that it's from that place that everything is created. And now, within this light of your heart that's surrounded by darkness, imagine there's a little mini version of you right in your heart, dressed exactly as you are today, exactly who you are today, but it's within your heart. And as you look at this smaller astral version of you, I invite you to look with eyes of appreciation on yourself, on everything about who you are, or just find those aspects of the ways that you are of service, loving, light, patient, supportive, whatever the adjectives are. Maybe it's just a visual of things that you can appreciate about you. And just imagine with your own internal gaze, you're just sort of showering this version of you inside your heart with appreciation, with love, with gratitude. And now using your breath, keeping that smaller version of you in your heart, surrounded by love. Imagine that you're inhaling, you're able to bring more light into your heart. And as you exhale, we were speaking of the things we were ready to release on this day. Allow, imagine, enable your exhalation to be the release. The energetic release from your body, from your field, from your psyche, from your emotions. And you're breathing in love and gratitude into your heart, into yourself, and you're exhaling everything that's ready to go during this moment in time. And we'll just spend a little bit of time here with that practice. So start to feel yourself just being imbued with light, the light that shines from your heart, and free of any limiting beliefs, any outdated behavior patterns, anything that's just sticking around and ready to be released. And then bring that version of you that's in your heart into your full body so that you can see yourself sitting in this gathering, practicing this meditation, and shift your awareness to the seeds, the seed, or if there's any intention or intentions that you would like to plant on this day at this time, in sync with the energy of the solstice. And imagine that whatever those seeds are, there's this astral version of you that is putting them into really rich soil, planting the seeds deep enough, covering them up so that they won't be bothered by frost or snow as we're still in winter, but they're going to start to be nourished. Nourished by the soil, nourished by the microbes, watered by the rain. And just be, for the next moment of time, with those intentions. Maybe spend some time visualizing how you might feel, how you might be, what the cadence of your life might be, with the people who you are surrounded by, who they may be. And just visualizing yourself as if you're sending it out into the future, spending a little bit of time here, not being attached to detail, but creating some detail around how you might feel, how you might hold yourself, how you might breathe, how you might speak, whether or not you sleep in or go out briskly walking in the air, fresh air. Just a little bit of time here, sending that seed, those seeds into the future.